Should we want to write it as a paragraph or separately?
Yes. Now, right. Pardon. Should we? Yes.
Paragraph form or sentence
No,
form?
no. You can point by point. You can start answering point by point. Define the term needs. So need can define wants and products. First you have to define what a need is, what a want is, what a product is. And then you have to explain the you see, relationship among them. Relationship among them. See how you try it? You can try කරන විදිහ පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලට අනේ නැත්නම් අපි මෙහෙම කරමු. එතකොට දැන් මේකේ ආදර්ශය දුන්නාට පස්සේ ඔයාලට හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔන්න බලන්න දැන් මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට how can we answer such question? Here needs, when needs define කරලා තියෙනවා. Basic requirements for survival of human beings. We can say needs are the basic requirements or essential requirements that should be essentially satisfied. අපි එහෙමනේ කියන්නේ. Needs are the requirements that should be basically or compulsorily satisfied. එහෙමනේ අපි define කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ අදහස අපිට දෙන්න උත්තරයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි ඒ නිසා කියන මොකද්ද? Needs are the requirements that should be compulsorily satisfied for the survival of human being. නේද? මේ තියෙන්නේ sketch එකක් විතරයි. මේක තව චුට්ටක් විග්‍රහ කළාට ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා ලියන්න පුළුවන්. Needs are the requirements. Needs are the requirements. Rashmi, needs are the requirements that should be compulsorily satisfied that should be compulsorily satisfied for the survival of human being, for the survival of human beings, for the survival of human beings. ඒතර wants කියන්නේ අපි පොඩි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේක define කරන්න කියනවනේ terms. ඒතර අපි කියනවා what want is, what a need is කියලා අපි කියනවා. මෙන්න අපි කියනවා මොකද්ද? Special desire some particular product for a satisfaction of human needs and wants. එහෙම නැත්නම් ways of person satisfying his need. ඒතර අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියන මොකද්ද? Wants are the ways and means of satisfying needs. කොහොමද අපි කියන්නේ? Wants are the ways and means of satisfying one's need. Wants are the ways and means of satisfying one's need. කෙනෙකුගේ need satisfy කරන ways and means ක්‍රමවේද තමයි අපි කියන්නේ මොනවා කියලාද? Wants කියලා. මේ definition දෙකක් තියෙනවා. Special desire some particular product for the satisfaction of human needs. ඒක කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. Now see තවත් ඔන්න කියනවා wants are various alternative available to satisfying human needs. මොනවා කිව්වත් කවන්නේ. එතකොට මේක define කළාට half mark, මේකට half mark, then you see the product. See the product. Anything offered in order to satisfy, offered to the market, anything offered to the market, anything offered to the market in order to satisfying human needs or wants. Anything offered to the market in order to satisfy, satisfy human needs and wants. On Rashmi, කිසි ඒ තමයි product define කරන්නේ. Then ඔන්න කියනවා interconnection. නේද? අපි මොකද ඉස්සලා define කියලා තියෙන්නේ. Then you see the interconnection. Now look at how interconnection is emphasized. Then interconnection එක කොහොමද දෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න. Things necessary for human living are needs. Various alternatives to satisfy needs are wants. So needs and wants can be satisfied to products. While different methods of satisfy human needs and wants is need. Product is a solution for the needs and wants. ඔන්න කියන අදහස. Things necessary for human beings are needs. Various alternatives to satisfy needs are wants. So needs and wants can be satisfied to product. ඉතින් අපි කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Needs and wants can be satisfied by consuming products. නේද? අපි දන්නවනේ needs and දැන් හිතන්නකෝ උදාහරණයක් විදියට. නේද? ඔයාලට දැන් education කියන need එක තියෙනවා. ඒක satisfy කරන්න අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? පොතක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. පොත කියන්නේ product එකක්. නේද? අන්න to satisfy needs and wants, people consume products. So that by consuming a product, one can satisfy needs and wants. So that needs, wants, and products are interconnected to each other. You know, trust me, this is how you have to ask. Things necessary for human livings are need. Various alternatives to satisfy needs are wants. So needs and wants can be satisfied through products. Satisfied to products. While different methods to satisfy human needs are wants and needs. Product is a solution to the needs and wants. Product is a solution to the needs and wants. Rashmi, finish writing?
Yes, sir.
Yes. මොනවද අපි යන ඊළඟ කොටසට දැන්? ඔන්න බලන්න ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්නේ. Give 4 main reasons that influence to shift the production method from direct production to indirect method. ඔන්න කියන මොකද්ද? Give අපේ මොකක්ද අහන්නේ? Give 4 main reasons. හේතු 4ක් කියන්නේ. That influenced to shift මාරු වෙන්නට මොකෙන්ද? The production method නිෂ්පාදන ක්‍රමය from direct production to the indirect production. අපි දන්නවනේ earlier we have discussed that people had a self-sufficient society. And from self-sufficient society people turned to exchange society. නැත්නම් direct society එකෙන් indirect society එකට මාරුනවා. ඉතින් එහෙම වෙන්න හේතු මොනවද කියලා main reasons. ඔන්න බලන්න දැන් ආසන්න උත්තරේ මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? Personal specialization. One reason is personal specialization. Kisi, what do you mean by personal specialization? When a person continues to do the same task, same function for a long period of time, he becomes, or the country becomes specialized in this field. Nee, දැන් මම උගන්නලා මේක specialized guy. දැන් සලූන් එක කොණ්ඩේ කපන එකෙත් එක දිගටම කළාම මොකද he becomes specialized in that field. එතකොට මේ specialized වුණාට පස්සේ දැන් මම කුඹුරු වැඩ කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. මම මේෂන් වැඩ කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. I am specialized for teaching. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ when people becomes specialized, people are unable to produce all the things that they need. තමන්ට ඕනේ සියලු දේවල් they don't like to, and they are not involving in doing all the things. Instead, they do as they wish and the most suitable task for them, and the other things are borrowed or purchased by others. ඉතින් ඒකනේ indirect production එකට එන්නේ. නේ? ඒතර ඒකට හේතු එකක් තමයි personal specialization. Indirect production එකට මාරු වෙන shift වෙන එක හේතුව personal specialization. පුජ්‍යල විශේෂීකරණ. Next one, excess production. Due to excess production, අතිරික්ත නිෂ්පාදන නිසා මොකද වෙන්නේ? When people produce excess production, the surplus should be exchanged with others. Surplus should be exchanged with others. Surplus එක අනික් අයට හුමාරු කරන්න ඕනේ. And then they had to shift from direct production to indirect production. ඒකෙදි මාරු වෙන්න උනා. Next one, barter system. Exchanging goods and services with other goods and services. Then trade, buying and selling activities. Then these are the reasons for people to convert or turn from direct production to indirect production. Personal specialization, excess production, barter system and trade. Just try to understand and write it down. Right, that is how we have to identify that part. Right, බලන්න පුතේ දැන් ඊළඟ එකට එන්න. ඔන්න කියනවා new generation අලුත් පරම්පරාව is reluctant to get involved in agriculture. Give 4 reasons for this. නේද අපි දන්නවා දැන් ඔයාලා කවුරුත් ඇහුවොත් එහෙම ගොවියෙක් නැත්තම් ගෙවිලියක් වෙන්න කැමති කියලා කවුරුත් කියන්නේ නැහැ. ඕනම ළමයි ගියොත් to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer, නේද banker, ඔහොමනේ කියන්නේ, businessman ඔහොමනේ කියන්නේ, teacher නේද එහෙමනේ කියන්නේ. ඒතර now new generation is reluctant කියන්නේ අකමැති මොනවා to get involved සම්බන්ධ in agriculture. Give 4 reasons for this. මේකට හේතු 4ක් දෙන්න. ඔන්න බලන්න තහවුරුයිද කියලා මේ උත්තර 4ක් කියනවා 8ක් තියෙනවා ආදර්ශ උත්තර. right දෙම ඔටම ලියාගන්න දැන් මුල් කාලේ එහෙම ලියාගත්තට කමක් නැහැ. Uncertainty of harvest income මේ මොනවද අස්වනු ආදායමේ තියෙන අස්තිරභාවය. අස්වනු මොකද හේතුව agriculture you see prices are fluctuating always. ඉහළ පහළ යනවා හැම වෙලාවෙම භාණ්ඩ මිල ගන්න. And then you see some climatic changes badly affect the you see area. And then you see changes of prices, and then you see other reasons. No good professional image. You see, agriculture is concerned, there is no professional image. Then Govi Mahatekkuවට සමාජය අගයක් එන්නේ. ගෙවිලියක් කිව්වට කවුරුත් ඒක වටිනාකමක් විදිහට ගන්න නැහැ. ඒකත් අලුත් ජෙනරේෂන් එකට ප්‍රශ්න. ඒ නිසා සමහරව සේල්ස් රෙප්ලා නැත්නම් security officers පවා ගිහලා දැන් ගාමන්ට් ෆැක්ටරි එකට යන්නේ ගෑන ළමයි නේ ඒකට වඩා වටිනාකමක් තියෙන ගොවිතැනක් කළොත් හැබැයි අර ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් ඉමේජ් එකක් නැහැ වෘත්තීය වටිනාකමක් අගයක් lack of social recognition for agriculture. Look at that, lack of social recognition. සමාජ පිළිගැනීමක් නැහැ කෘෂි කර්මාන්තේ ගොවිතැනි මඩ ගෑවෙනවා කියවම නිකන් හරි නෑ නේද දැල්ලෙන් කොටනවා කියවම හරි නෑ problem arise in capital ප්‍රාග්ධනයේදී මූලධනයේදී another problem lack of good market for products lack of good market for product හොඳ වෙළඳ පොලක් නැතිකම lack of agricultural skills නිපුණතාවයක් large amount of capital needs සමහරට ප්‍රාග්ධනයේ ගොඩක් ඕන වගා කටයුතු සඳහා නේද බීජ වලට නේද ඊට පස්සේ තෙල් පොහොර වලට large amount of capital needs individual attitudes look at that individual attitudes පුජ්‍යලාකාර පුජ්‍යලෝ කැමති නැහැ ගොවියෝ වෙන්න නේද ගොවි ගෙවිලියක් වෙන්න කැමති නැහැ එතකොට these are what we call the individual attitudes of people towards agriculture now these are the reasons for people young generation to get rid of this agricultural sector write them out. Right. Now, shall we move on to the next one? Now, look at the next question. Write two specific characteristics of macro environment. Okay, now, you know that already. Now, environment can be categorized into two categories, namely, then internal environment and then external environment. Internal environment is controllable, as well as then it can be controllable, and then internal environment can be changed by the business, and then external environment cannot be controlled. By studying the internal environment, you can identify the strengths and weaknesses. By examining, by studying the external environment, you can identify opportunities and threats. And once again, this external environment can be categorized into two categories. Namely, what? Immediate or task environment, and then macro environment. Immediate environment or task environment, macro environment. Immediate environment can be certain, to a certain extent can be controllable. For example, suppliers, and then financial institutes, and then creditors, and then customers. Now they are related to task environment. And then economic environment, legal environment, and then you see global environment, political environment, natural environment, demographic environment. All these are called macro environmental forces or macro environmental factors. They write two specific characteristic of macro environment. මේ සාර පරිසරයේ තියෙන specific characteristics දෙකක් ලියන්න කියලා කියනවා. Now look at that. It is very rapid. Sorry, rapid change. It change very seriously, very rapidly. ඉක්මනින් වෙනස් වෙනවා. Rapid change. It is very dynamic. Dynamic is always undergoing change. Always undergoing change. Macro environment is always undergoing change. You see the now, for example, prices of goods increasing and decreasing. And then you see the, what you call the exchange rate, increasing and decreasing. Interest rate, you see, very rapidly increasing and decreasing. Always it is changing. Dynamic, which cannot be forecast, which cannot be, you see, just proper. Variety of influences. There are variety of influences. Complicity or complication. Complication. Competitiveness. Competitiveness. Having a lot of competition. Global. Look at that, global. It is spread globally. Existence of interrelations. You see all these global environment, natural environment, and then economic environment. Then you see the political environment. All these environmental factors are interconnected to each other. That is another characteristics of macro environment. Difficulty to control. It cannot be controlled by the business. It cannot be controlled by the business. Look at that and understand. Yes. Rashmi, is it completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Now look at next question. If you have completed, let's move on to the next question. Interpret the globalization. Interpret the globalization. See whether that question is there. Interpret the globalization. Inki, that question is available in your tube?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, right. Interpret what globalization is and describe to positive end. මොකද මේ globalization කියන කාරණේ මුලින්ම එනකොට ලෝකයේ ලංකාවට ඔක අදහස එනකොට සමහරු කියවා මේ globalization එක නිකන් අන්දේ අලියෙක් විස්තර කරනවා කියලා. ඇයි? ඉතින් අලියාගේ මේ කකුලක් අහුනොත් එහෙම අන්දයා කියනවලු අලිය වංගෙඩියක් වගේ. අලියාගේ මේ කනක් අහුනොත් එහෙම අන්දයා කියනවලු අලිය හරියට කුල්ලක් වගේ. හරිද? අන්න එහෙම එක එක අර්ථ කරගන්න. ඒසා globalization is concerned earlier there was no exact definition. ඉතින් අතරම globalization කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වගේ situation එකක්. දැන් බලන්නකෝ අපි මම for example very simple දැන් මොකද දන්නවනේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපේ globe එක තියෙන මෙහෙම මම නිකන් උදාහරණයක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම for example දැන් මෙහෙමනේ globe එක තියෙන්නේ. මෙහෙම ගත්තොත් this is the globe. දැන් මේකේ තියෙනවනේ මොකද්ද? වෙන් කිරීම තියෙනවනේ මෙහෙම. for example ඔන්න ඔය විදිහට දැන් ඔන්නෝම ලෝකේ වෙන් විලා මේ තමයි මොකද්ද අපි දන්නවා මොහොදු සීමාවන් වලින් මේ විවිධ හේතු නිසා මෙහෙම වෙන් වෙලයි තියෙන්නේ නේද? ඔමනේ තියෙන්නේ. මේ තමයි ග්ලෝබ් එක අපේ තියෙන ආකාරය. එක එක රටවල් දේශ සීමා වලින් මොහොදු වලින් මොහොම වෙන් වෙලයි තියෙන්නේ. So now these are the boundaries. මේ අපි කියනවා සමහරවා තියෙනවා boundaries with regard to you see oceans වලින් වෙන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඔමනේ අපි දකින්නේ ග්ලෝබ් එක තියෙනවා. නේද? මයි තියෙන්නේ. Now these are the boundaries. Then you see because of these boundaries countries are separated from all each other. Countries are separated. You see, they are separated due to what we call physical boundaries, maybe religious boundaries, maybe ethnic boundaries, or language boundaries, cultural boundaries, political boundaries. For example, then we got to them Pakistan and India. They were divided based on their ethnicity. Pakistan bahutara Muslim වරු හිටියේ ඉන්නේ Hindu bahutara ඉන්න ඉන්දියාව. ඔය විදිහට වෙන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒවා you see various races. The globe means globalization කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වගේ තත්ත්වයක්. You see interconnection of countries irrespective of all type of boundaries. Now you see this is the globalization. Then බලන්නකෝ මේකේ physical boundaries නැහැ. Language boundaries නැහැ. No any kind of boundary. ඒ නිසා අපිට පුළුවන් ද අර මම දන්න යුනිවර්සිටි එකකට හිටියා මේ businessman කෙනෙක්. මිස් ජගේෂාන් කියලා අපි කිව්වේ. ජගේෂාන් breakfast එක ගන්න රත්නපුරේ. හරි. He takes his lunch from Malaysia. Lunch එක ගන්නකොට යා Malaysia. He takes his dinner from Singapore. You see, this is where you see the globalization. So the globalization is very simply interconnection of countries irrespective of all type of boundaries. සාමාන්‍ය අර්ථයෙන් අපිට ඔහොම ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් බලන්න දැන් මොන මේකේ තියෙන negative impacts and positive impacts. Globalization is concerned, there are some positive impacts as well as negative impacts. Balloon, what is globalization? Enterprises becoming interdependent and interlinked. Global is known as globalization. To get the enterprises becoming interdependent, antarparayatra බව කියලා කියනවා, and interlink, antarbanding, antar samanta. Globally is known as globalization. ඒ නිසා අපි කතා කළේ global village, global family එන්නේ කියන්නේ. නේ due to internet we become, you see, all people are living in the same village or same family. That is why global family. The whole globe is a family. එන්නේ අපි හඳුනගන්න. Globalization. Economic, political and cultural interrelation among countries. ඔන්න තව විග්‍රහය. Build international relationship with government, people and organization. Make 2 marks. Please write it down. ලියාගන්න. එතකොට දැන් මේක උදේ ඔයාලා ආදර්ශයක් කරගන්න ඕන. ඔයාලගේ උත්තර ලියන්න. You are unable to write anything that you wish. ඔයාලට ඕනෝනේ ලියන්න බෑ. දැන් මේ business studies වල තියෙන විශේෂත්වය තමයි අපි පොඩි frame එකක් ඇතුළට වැටෙන්න ඕනේ. Everything with regard to business is business studies. ව්‍යාපාර සම්බන්ධදී හැම දෙයක්ම business studies. By when you learn businesses, all these are business. But in our syllabus, there should be a frame. මේ frame එක ඇතුලේ අපි ලියන්න ඕනේ. frame එක ඇතුලේ විෂය තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. නේද? ගොඩක් දැන් අපි ඉගෙනුම් කරන මම දැකලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මේක syllabus එක කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි අනවශ්‍ය දේවල් ගොඩක් අන්තර්ජාලයේ තියෙන සටහන් අරගෙන මේක ලියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. Right. Now please start answering that part. මොනවද ඔය ටික ලියා ගන්න බලන්න. Right. Now look at that. Positive impacts of globalization. Look at the positive impacts of globalization. Creating broad market. Creating broad market. Following of new technology. Following of new technology. Exchanging of new knowledge. You see, creating broader market, positive. Flowing of new technology. New technology is coming into the country. It is a benefit to the people of the country. And then exchanging of new knowledge. Knowledge can be exchanged among countries. That is a good benefit of globalization. Exchanging of new knowledge. Ability to gain economies of scale of production. Ability to gain economies of scale. When countries are producing more and more surplus production, those countries can produce a unit of production for less cost, so that they can produce more and more, or more and more products by using less cost. That is what they call economies of scale. Development of infrastructure and business services. Due to globalization, a country can develop their its infrastructure facilities as well as business services. Business services in the sense that insurance, banking, transportation, that type of facilities, supportive services can be improved. Look at it. Now look at the negative impacts of globalization. Please cite the negative impacts of globalization. We have to face the global competition. Now countries like us are unable to face the global competition because you see other countries are producing goods by using high quality technology. You see their products are concerned high quality. And then we are unable to face with that high quality products as small and developing countries. And then weaknesses of global industries, we are unable to face as we are very weak, you see, as local industries. Lack of skilled labor. Now you see nowadays, because of the, you see, disaster situation in the country, economic disaster, lot of, you see, educated people, scholars, they are going away from country. They are going abroad. And this is what we call brain drain. Now it is a major problem because of globalization. Now see, in our country, professionals like doctors, engineers, and then accountant, all those professionals are leaving the country. It is because of the globalization. It is a bad impact to the country. Try to understand. Next one, increasing marketing expenditure, because we have to, you see, advertise not for local market, but for international market, global market. Now, when we make necessary sales promotion for international market or global market, we have to spend more and more money. That is another reason. Now, that is what we call the negative impact. Increase advertisement and other promotion expenses. Increase advertisement and other promotion expenses. Change in lifestyle. You know, now Sri Lanka is concerned, a lot of Sri Lankans, they have changed their lifestyle due to globalization. Now, sometimes you see, it can be tolerated by the society now. It can be borne by the society now because of our changes of lifestyle. Those who did job in other countries, foreign countries, and they have just come to Sri Lanka. They are unable to bear their previous lifestyle within the Sri Lanka. Now that is another problem. Look at that. Write that as well. Negative impacts. Right. Now, I have this question as well.
Yeah, sir.
Right. Now look at that. Interpret. Now you have you finished this part? Completed. Yes. Let's move on to next question. Interpret what is meant by organizational culture. Organizational culture, which is an internal environment force. You know that internal environment is concerned owners, employees, organizational culture, organizational structure, resources, managers, all these are related to internal environment forces. Now here, organizational culture is related to internal environment. What do you mean by organizational culture? Look at that. Commonly shared set of beliefs. You see, beliefs of people within the organization. And then norms and values, Vatinakam, Aganakam, and values in order to develop common behavior pattern in an organization. Common behavior pattern. Podu hasirim ratawa. Now, you see, all the organizations are having different cultures. Different cultures. The අපේ ඉස්කෝලේ මලියදේ බොයිස් එක ගත්තාම ඒක මේ අර ඕල් කොට් පාසලක් කියලා තමයි හඳුනන්නේ. ඒතර it is based on Buddhist religion. ඒතර අපේ අල්ලපු ඉස්කෝලේ තියෙනවා St. Anthony's, St. Anne's විද්‍යාලය. It is based on what you call Catholic culture or Christian culture. You see? Now, so that these are what you call, their beliefs, their ethics, their norms are different from our school. It have a converting, Holy Family. It is also same. They are having, so that just try to understand each organization has its inherited culture. That is what we call organizational culture. Now, Sampath Bank is having the concern. Sampath Bank is having a culture which is different from Hatton National Bank. Hatton National Bank is having a separate culture different from Ceylon Bank. Just try to understand. Every organization has a separate, identical culture which is inherited to that organization. Then, what do you mean by organizational culture? Commonly shared set of beliefs, Viswasya, Piliganim, norms, and values, Aganakam, Vatinakam, in order to develop common behavior pattern in an organization. Please write it down. Yes. Now look at the next part. Explain a strength and a weakness. A strength and a weakness of the organizational culture, giving an example for each. Example, now look at the strengths. The identify the strengths of organizational culture. Commonly accepted positive behavioral pattern, because all the employees are having commonly accepted behavioral pattern due to organizational culture. Now, within the organization, no person can avoid that cultural values, cultural norms and cultural behavior. Because you see, it is identical to the business, so that no person can avoid that cultural acceptances. That is a strength. Because all the people, all the employees, all the managers have to obey that cultural values. It is a good situation because you see there is an identity for the special identity for the organization. Relationship based on trust. Because all the people, irrespective of their positions, all accept the norms, values, and acceptances within the organization. It is good situation. Cooperation of employees. You see, employees are having good cooperation, good interconnection, because of people accepting the norms commonly. Respect for others. Because of the single organizational culture, identical organizational culture, all people are respecting each other. That is a good quality. Look at that. And write the weaknesses as well. Cultured. Because people are working in a frame, a definite frame of culture. නිශ්චිත කල්චර් එකකට වැටෙනවා මේකෙන් එහාට යන්න බෑ. නේද? ඒකෙන් එහාට ඒකෙන් මිදෙන්න බෑ. It is not a problem. It's a problem, it's a weakness. Because you see, all people are working within a selected frame. They are bound by the culture. When a set of people are bound by the culture, it is also not good. නේද? මොකද සංස්කෘතියෙන් බැඳුනට පස්සේ උන්ට නේද? අලුත් ලෝකයක් ගැන හිතන්න බෑ. අර ෆ්‍රේම් එකේ ඉඳලා හිතන්න. Differently treat. You see, within the culture, you see there are some people who don't accept the culture, who don't regard the culture. Is in some situations, because of the same culture, identical culture, some set of people may be treated unequally. Now, based on some identical culture. Confusing among norms and values. Some people may be confused due to these norms and values. For example, the මම කාලේ sentence එකේ හිටියා ඒක අර Catholic base එකක් තියෙන. ඉතින් අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් confusion එක මුල කාලේ තිබුණා. හුරුනේ. නේ. ඒ හුරු පුරුදුනේ. Look at that situation. Still we are discussing first term. මේ first term එක මම කියන්නේ අර අපි කියනවානේ නේ Shakespeare තමන්ගේ එක නාට්‍යයක් කියන all is well that නේ will begun is half done. හොඳින් ආරම්භ කිරීම කියන්නේ කාර්යයක භාගයක් නිම කළා හා සමානයි. ඒ නිසා අපි දැන් මේ ආරම්භක first term එක තොරලා ඉස්සෙල්ලාම first term එකේ විභාගෙදී you should score high marks. එතනින්ද අපි ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් එක දානවා. හරිද? ඒ නිසා හොඳ සූදානමින් පළවෙනි ටර්ම් එකට මුහුණ දෙන්න ඕනේ. නේද? හොඳ සූදානමින් ෆස්ට් ටර්ම් එකේ ටෙස්ට්. ඉතින් හැම කෙනාම ටර්ම් ටෙස්ට් ලියන්න ඕනේ. ඒක හොඳට මතක ගන්න. වාර විභාගෙ තියන්න. ඒවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම that carefully on the Sudan වාර විභාග ලියන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි මොකද්ද? ඒක තමයි rehearsal එක. Now most of students don't like to sit for term test. අපේ ළමයි බොහොමයක් හරි අකමැති term test ලියලා තමන්ගේ performance evaluation එක කරගන්න. දැන් ඔයාලා දන්නවනේ ඕනම දන්නව නෙවෙයි දැන් මම මේ දන්නේ නැති නිසා කියලා දෙන්නේ. ඕනම කාර්යයක පුරේ තියෙනවා එක අවස්ථාවක් තමයි මොකද්ද? තමන් කරන කාර්යය ඇගීමකට ලක් කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට කියන්නේ performance evaluation. දැන් අපි human resource management වල තියෙන එක මාතෘකාවක් තමයි performance evaluation කියන්නේ. කාර්යඵල ඇගීම. දැන් උලට මාස 3ක් උගන්වලා නැත්නම් මාස 4ක් උගන්වලා ඒ ඉගෙන ගත්තේ තහවුරු වෙලා තියෙනවද කියලා තමයි term test එකක් කියන්නේ. ඉතින් බොහොමයක් ළමයි තමන් term test එකට මුහුණ දෙන්න කැමති. ඒ performance evaluation එක කරගෙන තමන්ගේ නියම තත්ත්වය තේරුම් ගන්න කැමති. ඉතින් මේ reality එක පිළිගන්න කැමති නැති අයට නිවැරදි වෙන්නත් බැහැ. එහෙම නේද? Those who don't like to accept the reality, they are unable to correct their mistakes. So that I invite all the students of mine to sit for all the examinations, all the term tests in this course. ඊළඟට කියන කාරණා තමයි ඔයාලා මේ ටියුෂන් කියලා මොකද මේ පෞද්ගලික පන්ති කියලා මේවා මත ඩිපෙන්ඩ් වෙන්න එපා වුණා. හරි මොකද දැන් මම නම් මොකද මම අවුරුදු 20 ගාණක් උගන්නපු කෙනෙක්. අවුරුදු 20 ගාණක් මම ටේප් මාකින් ගියපු කෙනෙක්. ඒකට I have lot of experience. ඒ නිසා මම මේවා සියල්ල තේරුම් අරගෙන උගන්වනවා. ඉතින් පාසල් අතහරින්න එපා විභාග කටයුතු වලදී. ඒක හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න ගොඩක් ළමයි දැන් මේ අපි දැක්කේ 2021 22 වගේ ශිෂ්‍යෝ ගොඩක් පාසල අතහැරියා. ඒකේ bad impact එක ඉදිරියේ දිනන ප්‍රතිඵලත්. නේද? Right.
What kind of examples should be given for these points?
Example in this is IS here. Giving examples for each IS. Now you see commonly accepted positively behavior patterns. Now here the make examples දෙනකොට ඉතින් ගොඩාක් විස්තර ලියන්න ඕනේ අපිට කියන්න ඕන මොකද්ද? Relationship based on trust. විශ්වාසය මත පදනම් වෙන්න. Because you see every and each employee has to depend on the culture and they accept the culture. So that all are bound by cultural values, cultural norms, cultural acceptances. මම පැහැදිලි කරපු ටික ඔයාලා වාක්‍යයකින් දෙකකින් ලියන්න දෙන්න. ගොඩාක් විස්තර ලියන්න යන්න ඕනේ. examples කියනකොට පොඩි වචන දෙක තුනක් ලියන්න. දැන් මේක මම දිදියන්නේ නෑ ඉස්සරහට. දැන් මේ තමයි sketch එක. මේකට මම පැහැදිලි කරන්නේ. දැන් respect for each other. For example. Now if you believe the same framework of culture, you respect each other. එකිනෙකාට ගරු කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒක පොඩි අදහස් වචනයකින් දෙකකින් කියන්න. එච්චරයි examples කියලා කියන්නේ.
Sir, can we write an example incident for that?
Yes, very simple incident. Very simple incident. මේකටත් ලකුණු දෙනවා example කියන්නේ මේකටත් ලකුණු දෙනවා. ඉතින් පොඩි දැන් මේ තියෙන්නේ sketch එකක් නේ. මේ තියෙන්නේ පිළිතුරුපත් පරීක්ෂකයාට පහසුවක් ඇති කිරීම සඳහා දීලා තියෙන පොඩි ඒකේ අර මේ heart එක තමයි මේක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. heart එක. දැන් ඔයාලා චුට්ටක් මේක strengthen කරලා ලියන්න. හරි මේ තියෙන්නේ පොඩි points මේ point එක තියෙනවා ලකුණු දෙනවා. ඉතින් ඔයාලා මේක පොඩ්ඩක් වාක්‍ය විතර දැන් මේ මෙතන තියෙන්නේ බලන්නකෝ 1 2 3 4 5 වචන පහයි. ඉතින් මේක වචන 8ක් 10ක් දක්වලා පොඩි අදහසක් මේක ඇතුළත් වෙන විදිහට ලියන්න ඕනේ. Did you get it? ගත්තද උත්තරේ? අදහස ආවද?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Right. Explain what social responsibility of business is. And right, we have discussed this lesson. 3 reasons why it's important in the present society. You know that nowadays, you see, because of, the social degradation, the main of samaj soda paluwak tinwani. People are chasing for money, and then business people are always also chasing for money. So that in present situation, people have to pay attention on social responsibility because of much of social evil prevailing in the country and the society. Now, look at that what this social responsibility means. The willingness of a business to accept responsibility for its action and their impact on the range of stakeholders is known as social responsibility. Now, for example, now, if a business person is not maintaining a proper waste management system, it may create negative impact to the society. If a businessman is not maintaining a proper waste management system, it may negatively affect the society. Now, if he considers over the negative impact, it is his social concern of social responsibility. Why? When he is doing business, he thinks of nature, natural resources, other community. You see the bad impact on others and bad impact on society and bad impact of nature. Now, if he considers over that, that is what we call his responsibility, social responsibility. Then, Guru උගන්නන අතරතුර නේද ශිෂ්‍යයන්ට මෙන්න මේ වාගේ හොඳ දේවල් කරන්න මේවා කරන්න කියලා කියන්නේ එයාගේ විශේෂ පරිබාහිර දේවල් කියනෝනේ ශිෂ්‍යයෙක්ගේ පෞරුෂත්වය සංවර්ධනය කිරීම සඳහා අන්නේවා තමයි අපි ගුරුවරයාස් දැන් මම accounting හරි business studies හරි උගන්නනකොට මට වැඩක් නැහැ නෝලගේ ආචාර ධර්ම ගැන කතා කරන්න මට වැඩක් නැහැ නෝලගේ අනාගත දියුණුව ගැන කතා කරන්න මට තියෙන සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක උගන්නන්නනේ නේද ඒතර මම ඒ ගැන නොසලකා හැරලා ඔයාලගේ හැදියාවන් ගැන ආචාර ධර්ම ගැන මම කතා කරනවා නම් ඒක මගේ responsibility එක. I am performing my social responsibility because I am going beyond my boundary. මම boundary එකකින් එහාට ගිහලා නේද? I am speaking of good cultural values of students, good behavioral pattern of students and their future life, and all these are discussed with me. It is beyond my boundary of teaching business studies or accounting. That is what we call I am concerned in social responsibility. Now here please write it down. Willingness of a business to accept පිළිගන්නති කැමැත්ත responsibility for its action. Then business giving what is given back to the society. සමාජයට පෙරලා ව්‍යාපාරයක් ලබා දෙන්නේ මොනවද? That is what we call the social responsibility. The impact on the range of stakeholders. ඇල්මැති පාර්ශ්වයන් කෙරෙහි ඇති කරන බලපෑම තමන්ගේ ව්‍යාපාර ක්‍රියාකාරකම් නිසා is known as social responsibilities. Now look at the examples on 3 reasons. Write 3 reasons for its importance of present society. Now write them out. Right. Now look at this part. Write 3 reasons for its importance in the present society. Now the question is that it is emphasized then why social responsibility is important for the present society. The reason is that to protect environment, because you see now people are chasing for profit. Business people are chasing for profit. They don't consider our environment, and due to their activities, environment is heavily affected. Because of that, you see, protect environment is important. If a businessman is concerning social responsibility, he thinks of protecting the environment. Look at that. To prevent the environment pollution. If a businessman is thinking of social responsibility, he tries to minimize environment protection when he is doing his business activities. Now it is you see, just type of thought which should be developed within the business people. Social responsibility is a willingness to accept their own, you see, the responsibility over their action, business actions. To prevent against unethical behavior. To prevent against unethical behavior. You see, when people are doing business, they are doing some unethical conduct. Unethical conduct. Unethical conduct means sometimes you see they sell goods, inferior goods as superior goods. They change sometimes the price tags. They do some business malpractices when they are doing business. Understand? They sell local goods as important goods. These are kind of unethical practices. So that if a businessman think of social responsibility, he thinks of minimizing his unethical business conduct. To solve the problems related to poverty in certain developing countries. To solve the problems related to poverty. So that just try to understand if people are thinking of the society and their social responsibility. They pay attention on downtrodden people, poor people. They try to safeguard them because of their social concern. Understand? That is why if a businessman think of his social responsibility when he is doing business, he definitely try to minimize unethical conduct in business activities, try to help poor people in their business activities, that type of things. To use resources efficiently in the world. They try to maximize use of their resources. They don't try to waste resources in business activities because they think of the importance of their social concern. Think of that. This is also related to first term. This question is also related to first term. So now, are you having this question within our questioning? Rashmi, are we having that question as well?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. State for factors that a food manufacturer should consider. Food manufacturer are Nishpandaki, 4 factors in developing a code of ethics. You know, code of ethics. It is a, you know that in our social responsibility and ethics, that lesson is concerned, we have to think of ethics. Doing business activities, understanding what is good and what is bad. That is what we call ethical behavior for business. Doing one's business activities, understanding what is good and what is bad. Then you see ethics ensure the quality of product. As a manufacturer, if he is thinking of ethics, he thinks of the quality of product and explain why he should consider those factors. Now look at that. Factors related to manufacture, research, related to supplies, related to method of production, related to customers, related to competitors. Nishpadika vidiයට supplies la සම්බන්ධ production method එක සම්බන්ධ එලා හිතන්න ඕන ආකාරය. Four factors. There are 5 factors here. Food supply considered in developing a code of ethics. Code of ethics එකක් නැත්නම් ආචාර ධර්මපත්තියක් develop කරනවා නම් එක පාර්ශ්ව සම්බන්ධ හිතන්න ඕන කොහොමද? Now, for example, related to manufacturing, carry out the production activity according to the specific food items. Carry out the business production activities according to the specific food items. සුවිශේෂී ආහාර නැත්නම් නිෂ්පාදනයක සම්බන්ධ production activities පාත්වාගෙන යන්න ඕන. Standard and quality of the product. Standard and quality of the product. මේ භාණ්ඩේ ගුණාත්මක තත්ත්වය ගැන හිතන්න ඕන. Supplies are concerned to supply raw materials according to the accepted standard. Now you see suppliers are concerned. If a supplier thinks of ethics, suppliers should supply their raw materials based on the standard. Based on the standard. If they are supplying inferior raw material, it is violation of ethics. Method of production. To consider acceptable health and hygiene practices should be followed. Again, ශරීර සෞඛ්‍යයට හානි නොවන නේද? සෞඛ්‍යයට පෝෂණයට හානියක් නොවන ඒ practices follow කළ යුතුයි කියලා කියනවා. To consider acceptable health and hygiene practices should be followed. Customers ensure the way of delivery, quality, size, නේද? බෙදා හැරීම් ක්‍රමවේදය ගැන හිතන්න වෙනවා. ඒක හින්දලා තමයි ethics හදන්න වෙන්නේ. Code of ethics හදන්න වෙන්නේ. Quality ගැන හිතලා හදන්න වෙනවා. Size එක නේ? Competitors to face the competition and to increase better quality. To face the competition and to increase better quality. ගුණාත්මක තත්ත්වයන් වර්ධනය කර ගැනීම. Now these are the accepted reasons when you are developing a code of ethics or preparing a code of ethics. 4 factors that a food manufacturer should consider in developing a code of ethics. to ensure the quality of product. Please write it down as well. If problem arises, please ask me. Get Lutino na. Yes. Now let's move on to the next part. Yes. So now look at next question. This is also related to first term. Name 4 parties that can be affected by imposing import tax on agricultural products, and write one advantage for each party from it. Now you see, tax is what we call inevitable payment to the government. Inevitable payment due to imposing of tax. What happens normally, prices of goods will increase. when tax are imposed on goods and services, what would happen is that the price of goods and services normally gradually increase. That is the first effect of tax. Badula palavini pratipadak price increasing. The reason is that due to you see imposing of tax, what happened is that cost of production increases. Now imports are concerned, cost of import increases. විදේශ රටවලින් මේ රටට ගේන නිෂ්පාදන නැත්නම් භාණ්ඩවල පිරිවැය ඉහළ යනවා. When cost of imports low in the local market, definitely prices of those goods will increase. Agriculture, you see, local agriculture producer. 4 parties. First one is local agriculture producer. දේශීය කෘෂිකර්ම නිෂ්පාදකයාට මේ tax එක බලපාන. Now for example, now you see tax on onion. අපි හිතමු ලූණු වලට බද්දක් ගහුවයි කියලා import tax එක. What happened is that you see imported products or onion prices of imported onions will increase. නේද? يعني ආනයනික මේ ලූණු වල මිල යනවා. Then it would be favorable to the local producer. ආනයනික මිල ඉහළ ලූණු වල මිල ඉහළ යනකොට it is favorable to the local producer, because you see as the local producer is having less price, people are interested in local onions. You see, it will protect the local producers. Now here you see protection of production, local producer is concerned, advantage, reduce international competition. You see, because the imported goods are having high price, the local producer is not having any challenge to compete with imported products, so that it is favorable to the local producers, can get higher prices. තවත් උන්නම් අර ටැක්ස් එකට සාපේක්ෂව මේ මිල ටිකක් වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් local product. Hey, when imported products are having high price, even the local producers can increase their prices. Now write that. First one is local agriculture producer. Local agriculture producer. Write that example advantage. Let's discuss one by one. Local customers, look at that. How local customers are affected due to import tax. Favorable factors or advantages. Can consume, here it is consume new goods and services because improvement of local production. can consume new goods and services because improvement of local production. Then what happened is that because of the imposing tax on imported products, local producers will produce more and more quality products so that customers can consume high quality products produced within the country. It is a benefit. Disadvantages can consume, here it should be can consume new goods and services because improvement of local production. Government, what are the advantages that can be gained by the government? Increase the tax revenue. Increase the tax revenue. The government can increase tax revenue because of import tax. Impact decreases, so it feeds for variable balance of payment. You see, balance of payment, I'll explain very simply. The main balance of payment, it is a statement with regard to foreign transaction. It is a statement in which all foreign transactions are recorded. Balance of payment. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ ගෙවුම් ශේෂය කියලා කියන්නේ. ගෙවුම් ශේෂය. Now in the balance of payment, trade, you see import trade values and export trade values and all type of services, export and import. All these are included in the balance of payment. Now, because of this imposing tax, balance of payment may be favorable to country. The import adu වෙනවනේ මේ නිසා. Discourage වෙනවනේ. ඒක විදේශ මුදල් පිටට ගලා යන්න යාමේ ඉඩකඩ අඩු වෙනවා. නේ? ඒතකොට අර අපිට තියෙන මොකද්ද? Scarcity of foreign money, that problem will be solved. Impact decreases, so it feeds for variable balance of payments. Increase the GDP. GDP කියන්නේ gross domestic production. Gross domestic production. දේශීය නිෂ්පාදන වර්ධනය වීම නිසා due to improvement of local production, gross domestic production will increase. Gross domestic production will increase. Can save foreign currency because of high prices of imported goods. People become discouraged importing products, as well as customers become discouraging consuming imported products, so that import will get discouraged. Resultantly, foreign currency may be saved within the country. Look at that part as well. Right. Let's move on to the next part. Local industries. Reduce international competitions, because you see, when imported goods become discouraged due to high prices because of the tax imposition, then local industries are not having much competition, high competition with foreign products, so that it is favorable to local industries because of less competition. Society. See the advantages that can be gained by society. Creates just opportunities due to development of national industries. As imports become discouraged, local industries develop, improved. When local industries developed, what happened is that new job opportunities are created. New job opportunities are created, which is favorable. Creates new sources of income generation. Alut ආදාන උපාදන මාර්ග හැදෙනවා. Local businesses are improved, local resources are highly used, then you see new income sources are created due to use of local resources and local employment. Write that as well. Yes. Now we have completed that part. Then you see, I feel that you are getting more and more about the subject now. Then ටික විෂය තහවුරු වෙමින් යනවා ඇති. Now please tell me whether we are having that question as well. Minuki, are you having that question as well?
Have, sir.
Yes. Right. Now look at that one. A government intervenes, රජයක් මැදිහත් වෙනවා, for conducting the business. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ third lesson, තුන්වෙනි lesson එක. නේද? Government and business enterprises, which is related to the first term. A government intervenes for conducting the business successfully in various ways. You see, government can intervene into business activities in various ways for the success of the business. Mention 4 such intervening methods. මේ මැදිහත් වෙන ආකාර 4ක් කියන්න පුළුවන්. and describe what the government expects from each method. You see, the government can intervene into business activities in various ways. We have to mention the various ways that the government can intervene into business activities and the reason for or the expectation of government by intervening into business activities. Now look at here government expectation base. You see, the government can intervene in business activities as a provider of infrastructure facilities, as a competitor, as a policy maker, as a regulator, as a provider of incentives, ප්‍රතිදාන සපයන්නෙක් විදියට, පහසුකම් සපයන්නෙක් විදියට, as a tax collector, බදු සපයන්නෙක් විදියට. තව නම් competitor, yes, competitor is there, as a facilitator, infrastructure facilitator, as a competitor, policy maker, then you see regulator, provider of incentives, tax collector. Look at the provider of infrastructure, government expectation to increase investment by businessmen. Now see, infrastructure is what we call the economic infrastructure, like you see ports, and then highways, and then telecommunication, electricity, insurance, you see, banking, which are very essential for continuation of business. Now, most of these services are supplied by the government because you see, some infrastructures are unable to be supplied by the private sector, or else they are not involving in supplies those infrastructure. So that by supplying this infrastructure, the government expect the business people to invest more and more in business activities. Then you see government as a competitor. You see, government interfere in business activities as a competitor. For example, private bus owners association is there, and then SLTB is there. Sri Lanka Transport Board is there. It is the government intervention. Now, private schools are there, and then the government schools are there. Private hospitals are there. The government intervening into health activities through government hospitals. And then you see private bus services there, or transport services there. You see, railway department interferes into transport sector. You see, every field, you know that. You see, every field, the government is also interfering into the field. For what? Sometimes to supply quality service. Sometimes you see private sector is not supplying those services because maybe high cost, maybe they are not having enough profit. So that if the private sector businesses are unable to earn enough profit, expected profit, they don't like to involve in such business activities. Then as a policy maker, it is the government that make policies, tax policy, infrastructure policy, and then exchange rate policy, interest rate policy. All these policies are prepared and implemented by the government to carry out proper business activities. These policies are formulated and implemented by the government to continue good business environment. Government as a regulator. You see, the government regulates business sector in various ways by using various institutes. Now, for example, you know that you see environment related activities are controlled by the Central Environment Authority, which is a government institution. And then central bank controls money market in the country. Central bank is a regulatory body of the government. Then what we call the company registrar, Samagam registrar, another regulatory institute. And then you see standard institution, Pramiti Ayathan, Central Environment Authority, Madhyam Parisara Adhikari, Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, Vinimesa Surukumpat Commission Sabha. Now these are some regulatory institutes controlled by the government. These institutes supervise business sector. Vyapara Sheshtra supervise. and as a regulator. Right. Please write down this four first. May this. Right. Okay, let's move on to the last part. Provider of infrastructure. Provider of infrastructure. Sorry, incentives. ප්‍රතිදාන කියලා අපි කියනවා. to attract new investors and to keep the existing investors. To attract new investors, the government should give some incentives. Pratidana dahirimat kirim දෙන්න. To attract new investors and keep existing investors. You see that if the government is not giving incentives, sometimes its existing investors are leaving the country as well as they are withdrawing their investments. Government as a tax collector. Increase government revenues to reduce imbalance of income, inequality of income, to prevent entrance of unnecessary industries, to discourage some industries which are not very important for the government, for the country, which are not essential for the country, to discourage some sectors. The government uses tax system. Please type that part as well. Right. With that, I feel that it is a favorable discussion that we made today. I feel that you may have understood that.